right, welcome to another episode of the LogiCast. My name is BlankaKong, and I'm joined by Mr.Esoteric and Gunner Eos. Today's topic is going to be holiday 2023, specifically some of the new tech items that we're going to be getting in the gaming space. And the first item that we're going to talk about, probably primarily on this particular episode, is the PlayStation Portal, which is their new streaming portable device that has to be connected online at all times and connected to it has to be on the same internet connection as your PlayStation 5, which has to be on for you to use this thing in the first place. So it's kind of like the Wii U game tablet for the Wii U. So it's the PlayStation Wii U, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to explain it. It's going to be launching this holiday. I don't think they have like a specific month, but presumably it's going to be October, November, or December. It's going to launch at $199.99, and from what we understand, it won't have any speakers built in. So you will need either a pair of wired headsets, like a wired headset, or wired headphones, or their new PlayStation Elite Pulse headset, which features, what is it called, Gunner? The new PlayStation Link technology, something like that.
Yes, it's supposed to be like advanced wireless sound technology. It's because it's supposed to have zero latency with sound. So you're supposed to, like, when an explosion happens, you hear it the instant it happens in the video game.
Yep, PlayStation Link wireless audio technology. There's a mouthful. The new headsets are also going to come out this holiday, and there's going to be two variants. I'm trying to find it. It's in this article. The article that I'm referring to will be linked in the description as well.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Pulse Elite and the Pulse Explorer headsets.
That's what it is, yes. So those are the two new headsets that Sony will be dishing out for holiday. So that means if you are a early adopter of their current Pulse headset, you're shit out of luck. You got to buy another headset. So that's cool. Another $100, I assume. Those headsets are going to be maybe $129. I don't know, because they have more features. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, the only silver lining is, I don't think it says here, but I'd like to think that they are compatible with the PlayStation 5, so it could be your overall main headset. That doesn't do anything if you were an early adopter of the new Pulse headset. That does nothing for you. But if you read this, you could kill two birds with one stone, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, from the looks of what I've seen pertaining to those two headsets, the Pulse Elite looks a little bit more comfortable. I'm not sure as to like the technology. If it works for the PS5, it'll be an incentive because I had these for quite some time, the original Pulse headsets. So if it works for the PS5, I may consider getting it. The Pulse Explorer, however, they look like regular like earbuds, like for those who go to the gym and put those types of headsets in your head. It's like a Apple AirPods ripoff from what I'm seeing here. If you're just the type of person that just don't like the whole foundation of a headset sitting on your head, then you can acquire those too. But again, the only incentive, in my opinion, to get either of these headsets would be whether or not you have a PS5 and you play a considerably amount of time with a headset as opposed to speakers on your TV or whatever kind of speaker setup you have.
Well, for this, you have no choice. You have to play it on a headset, because I didn't. Nowhere in the article says it has speakers. From pretty much everything we've seen about this new console, that's a peripheral I'll use, is that it's literally a screen with a PlayStation 5 Sense controller cut in half and stapled on either side. Not even an OLED screen, mind you. You're paying $300 plus tax, and you're getting an LCD screen.
It's 200.
200, sorry. You're paying $200 plus tax, and they couldn't even maybe bump up the price more to get put an OLED screen on this. Mind you, this peripheral costs the same as a Nintendo Switch Mini. So if you had to look at between, do I get a peripheral for a console or do I get a standalone console that can play games, is portable only, this is only portable as well. So we're measuring them along the same metric. Why would you not get a Switch if you're looking to play video games? The point of this thing, instead of getting a literal streaming machine. That's all this is. It's just a streaming machine.
Well, it's really it's a way for Sony to ensure that they have strong hardware holiday sales for 2023 for those who already have PS5. So PS5 is already doing extremely well in the hardware sales department. Like they're doing really really well. Like they're in the top of the charts almost every week, right? They're at worst second place to Switch, and a lot of times they're first place as far as hardware sales, right? So a lot of people already have PS5. So how, I'm sure in their boardroom or their meetings or whatever, they're thinking, well, how do we get the same consumers that are already on the PlayStation kind of family? How do we get them back into stores or buying more products from us? Well, here we have it, the PlayStation Portable. So that's really what it's for. Whoever's gonna buy this thing probably already has a Nintendo Switch OLED as is, and is looking to just spend more money on like more stuff for their PlayStation. This is only going to attract the hardcore of hardcore PlayStation 5 owners,
exactly.
and people who suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out. So like there are going to be those tech nerds who kind of see this and like, oh, it's a new tech device. I just kind of have to have it because it's new, and never fucking use it. Kind of like the VR headsets. I feel like a lot of people who buy VR don't actually use it.
Or people who are just oblivious to what it's actually intended to do, right? Because you get a lot of consumers who they think products work a certain way, but it actually doesn't. So as Kong was speaking on prior to the stream, people who don't understand the difference between digital and physical consoles, so yeah.
And I mean, speaking of holiday season, which is this more than likely is going to shoot for, oh my god, I feel bad for retail workers at places like GameStop, Best Buys, Walmarts, and anything that sells video games, because they're gonna have to do a lot of explaining, and they're gonna have a lot of angry customers that buy this thinking this is a portable PlayStation 5 or a portable Sony system of some ilk. They buy it, they go home, and they're like, how do I play the games? Because this thing needs a PlayStation 5, and it needs to sync up or connect to that PlayStation 5. So it needs a PlayStation 5. It is not an independent peripheral. It can't access the PlayStation Store. It's basically just a second screen for your PlayStation 5. So I'm anticipating the horror stories that are going to come from retail workers during the holiday season with angry customers not knowing what they bought and being pissed that they got ripped off, quote unquote.
Yeah, and it's I can in regards to what you were saying, Gunnar, to piggyback, it's a very redundant device. Like the PS5 console already allows you to do this in the form of remote play. You can take your device, your tablet or your iPad, and you can use it as a screen to be able to play PS5 games anywhere within your house. And you can also connect your DualSense controller to that device. This is just a very redundant device that has the same capabilities that you already have. Most people would have access to. At most, you probably don't already have a PS5 or you don't have a tablet. But either way, if you were to buy each device complementary to one another, at least there's other things you can do with said device. You can actually play physical games if you get a physical PS5, or with the tablet, if you're not playing the PS5, you can go on the web, you can get work done, you can You know, a lot of people buy iPads to draw, you know, with the Apple Pencil and things like that. So it's, you know, Kong is right with it being a diehard. It's intended for the diehard fans. However, I think they're doing the diehard fans a huge disservice because you're giving something that's already capable of being done. Like there's nothing new about this device. You just took a screen and soldered two DualSense, one DualSense controller onto it. That's it.
You're not
and
wrong.
Then you're like,
but you're not wrong. But the diehard fan is going to see this as like, thank God, now I can do it with a Sony device. Like they're so on that train that
that's
like
true.
This is
That's
seen
true.
to you, it's seen as a disservice. To them, it's seen as a godsend. It's like, oh wow, so now I can remote play with a Sony created device specifically made for the PlayStation experience. Like they'll sound like they, if you hear them talk, they sound like they work for PlayStation. So like
that is true.
To this guy, right? He might be listening to us right now. You know, I'm not bashing you, but
I mean, it's your money.
I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Like if this is what the kind of if this is the kind of stuff you want to spend your money on, you can. Like, you know, it's a free country. Yeah, but I think you're better off investing into a Steam Deck or a Switch or anything else, or maybe not a gaming device. Like if you are looking for something to spend your money on, right, and you come to this, I feel like, all right, maybe just save your money. That's me, but you know, people can choose whatever they want to do with their exposable income.
Well,
disposable income, excuse me.
To add to that, considering that the console doesn't have much games to play at this time, all you can do is save your money. So they're looking for outlets. You have some people that just so eager to get their money out of their wallets, you know, just to buy something. They have to have some new device in their hands or something new to just, you know, say that they have something or something that they spent their money on. But again, like you guys said, it is their prerogative whether or not they want to spend their money. If you have the disposable income, then by all means. But even if I had it, this wouldn't be something that I would rush to pick up.
No, well, yeah, we're clearly not the target demographic for this. This is we're too old to be getting stuff just like this on blind faith. You know, we've a lot of us have grown past the whole console loyalty. You know, we realize there's no point. Like, why are we? None of us work for Sony. We don't get paid by Sony. So why are we gonna fucking ride Sony all day long? But there are plenty of people that is their hill to die on. Like, they are dedicated, and this is for them. So they can lay on their bed and play God of War or Horizon while their PlayStation is on, which I get. Look, I play the boomer system known as the 3DS. I play on the Nintendo Switch, so I can appreciate you wanted to lay down, relax, and still play a game. I get that, but to pay $200 to have to pay 200 plus, because you're gonna have to get the headset unless you got a good pair of wired headphones. So 200 plus to lay on your bed and play God of War on an LCD screen, like, just to sit in the chair and play God of War for an hour, if that's all you have.
Or just order yourself what's that peripheral, the backbone that you can use for your phone, connect your PlayStation remote to that, and there you go. You got this whatever the hell they call this this new device. Like you just made that. You just made the
but remote. That's true. Like, I agree with both of you guys, but like that's not how a lot of people consume media these days. So like, yes, you can use your phone, but some people are like of the mentality of like, well, I need to use my phone for other things. So like, I want to talk to my significant other on the phone while I play on my bed on my PlayStation Portal. Like, that to them, that's perfect. And to me, I'm either gonna talk to somebody on the phone or I'm gonna play my game. not gonna do both. Personally, right? That's just me.
Mhm.
But some people they need that, or I want to listen to my Spotify on my phone while I play my game, in bed or whatever. So some people have like these weird, like awkward ways of like consuming content, and so they need multiple devices to experience experience that the way that they want to. It's
That
kind of
is true.
like I
That's true.
have okay, so Nintendo Switch. I have technically one, two, three. Technically, I own 3 Nintendo Switches, but there
Yeah.
are like 5 in my household. So 3 of them belong to me. I have one in the living room, one in my bedroom, and then I have a Switch Lite. And the Switch Lite I primarily use in bed because it's lighter,
Mhm.
it's easier to play, when I'm laying down. Whereas the regular Switch, is a little cumbersome comparatively. I bought the Switch Lite at launch, $200, and I felt like this is kind of a waste of $200, but like I kind of want the Switch Lite, so I bought it and I supported it. So for me, it's like if I can admit that that was maybe not the best financial decision, but it was one that I could make and justify. This kind of occupies a similar space. The most egregious thing about this particular device, the PlayStation Portal, is the fact that it isn't a standalone device. You have to
Yeah.
connect it to the PS5. If you were able to just connect it to the PlayStation Store and just download, like access your library natively, I think that would be perfect. Like I'd be more okay with this thing existing. I think that's the biggest
Agreed.
like point of
Agreed.
contention for me. But for those who do own a PS5, who do want the complete PS5 experience in a portable sense, while not using their phone or tablet, I think it's fine if you want to do it. I wouldn't because of the reasons I just stated, but I just want to kind of point that out there that I'm not like on the high horse or whatever. I've had my moments where I would consume more than needed because of frivolous reasons. So like I understand the person who does buy this, why they would buy it if they're like a hardcore PlayStation 5 player. So I just wanted to like put that out there.
No, that's good to have that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely get that. We all have fallen victim to, well, not fallen victim. We have all made decisions to buy something that wasn't logically sound in a sense of like buying. So, like, for example, with the Switches, I'm sure each of us within this panel has multiple Switches. Mine's is more so from a collector's standpoint. Like, I like the different designs that each Switch comes with, and I'm a collector. Um, but the thing is with the Switch is that it offers so much more than what this is like. It is redundant, yes, but in this case, as you already stated, you're giving me just something to walk around in the house to just play. Like it's not. I don't know. I don't know. You're absolutely right though. You're
Not to
right.
mention, they didn't even tell the battery life of this thing. Like, they didn't even reveal the battery life. I can't imagine it's terribly long. Maybe an hour, 2 hours the most. Then you have to either be connected, which at that point, play your PlayStation 5 normally, or you have to stop playing. So, the Switch doesn't have. I mean, the Switch has pretty good, decent battery life. I'm not gonna shit on it. It has pretty decent battery life. This, I don't think will have anywhere near the battery life. I have no idea how hot this thing is gonna get. Like, where's the cooling gonna come from? I doubt this draws a lot of power, but still, it's gonna draw some power. So there's like a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of like things that, while I understand why a hardcore fan, because this is the person that's going to buy it, why I understand they would get it's still hard for me to kind of like, it doesn't sit well with me, and I have zero intentions of buying this thing. It's like,
and all 3 of us, I think, are on the side of the fence where this is a hard no. I don't even have a PS5, so it's ultimately useless.
Well,
to me.
Yeah.
I have an Xbox. Boomy in the comments.
He's
it's
an Xbot.
But well, listen. The reason why I bought Xbox, I said this in past episodes, is because I've had Xbox since it was a thing in 2002 or 2001, one of those years, and I've always liked the Xbox, the machinery. Like I've always liked their systems, their controllers, and some of their exclusives, and for me it was like I want a next gen device, but I don't want the PS5 because the PS5 I think looks stupid. I hate the way it looks. I'm not a fan of it, so I decided to get the Xbox Series X because I think aesthetically it just works better for my setup, and I'm already used to the Xbox layout as far as their UI and their game offerings and their controller. So for me, it felt like a good fit. I don't particularly align myself with a gaming company as like a flag bearer or anything like that. Like, oh, I'm a Sony guy, or it's fine if you do. But for me, I'm just a gamer. The flag that I bear is that of a gamer. I play video games, period. Whether that be Sega, Steam, computer games, Xbox games, Switch games, doesn't matter. I go where the games go, period. Anyway, damn, what was the right before I went on that tirade? What were we saying? Oh, the
this isn't for any of us here.
Yeah, it's not for any of us here, which is fine. And I think a part of that is that we're older and we're I'll speak for myself on this one. I'm a little jaded with the gaming company, with the gaming industry. I feel like they're doing a lot of stuff that is anti-consumer, and I don't want to contribute too much to modern offerings because I don't want to encourage modern business practices, if that makes sense. So for me, I'm very selective with who I support and what games I buy and where I buy them and how I buy them. I'm very aware of that because while I'm just one guy, I'm gonna do my part to make sure that my message is at least felt to some degree. So
I get that. I mean, I think I can kind of speak for all of us here when I say that I feel like we're getting like our breed is getting pushed out of the gaming industry. Like a lot of this stuff is kind of not really meant for us anymore. A lot of these consoles are leaning more towards digital only. Both Xbox and Sony have digital only consoles. This is another digital non-physical device. So, and then now I'll bring it back to myself. Kong brought up a good point about like no loyalties, and I get that, but me personally, I feel like, I might bow out of gaming as a whole at this rate. I mean, a lot of these games don't justify the price they're asking for. A lot of these games are rushed and unfinished and take 3 years to patch up to get working again. So, like this, I can look at it and laugh and kind of wrap my head around this is such a stupid peripheral. Why would they buy it? But, and Kong reminds us every now and then this is kind of the way the gaming industry is going as a whole. Like this is what they want. They want a digital network where you have to buy from Sony. You don't buy from anybody else. You buy from Sony. You buy our Sony peripheral. You buy our Sony headset. You buy our Sony earbuds. Play on our Sony TV. They just want to keep everything in their own ecosystem, which unfortunately kind of promotes that tribalism. Because I'm pretty sure there's a guy out there that his entire electronic setup is Sony. Whether Sony's the best brand for his speakers, for example, doesn't matter. Sony all the way. So, and that's okay. I have plenty of things to keep me in the gaming community without having to embrace this new gaming world we find ourselves in soon.
Yeah, I just think that I don't think the company's intentions are to kind of push us away from consuming their products. I think the business plan that they're moving forward with is just the byproduct of us being pushed back, because honestly the goal of every business is to acquire as much money as they can, and if they can touch on all points of like consumers and meet all their needs, that's a win for them. I mean, why you think that they still have, to some degree, they still have the physical version of a console versus the digital version? Because they're looking to accommodate all consumers and all their preferences. Now, the thing is, from a business perspective, I can understand why they're going digital, because honestly, to set things in a digital perspective is to have control of everything. They want control. They want you to be able to pay at full price for whatever's been created within that Sony sphere, right? Like they want to cut out the middleman. Like places like GameStop, places like Best Buy, things like that, who sells their games on their behalf. They want to be able to cut those people out. They want to be able to set the price, get 100% of the profit, and they want to be able to minimize repurchasing of whatever products that they have given, because that's what it is. They want to take all the money. They don't want redistribution of whatever said games that come from their system. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the days, had a Sega Genesis. The very first game I got was the first Sonic, and on the cartridge itself it says "not for resale," like in big bold letters, "not for resale." And I think that's what their methodology is, in order to kind of minimize that reselling point. And also cut costs, because it does cost money, although minimal from what I researched, to put games on disc and also ship them out. But it's still a surplus of spending on their end. So businesses always come with that mantra of less is more. So if the less amount of money that they can spend, the more profitable they become, and the more money they get to retain. So I understand it. I don't think their intentions are to actually push us away, but it's just that we've been so embedded with the type of gaming that we're accustomed to. We've been gaming for decades, and for the way that they're transitioning to digital, it just is not feasible for us, because we're used to owning our own media and being able to control whatever happens after the fact when we purchase that media.
So I hear what you're saying, but I do disagree with the notion that they're not pushing us away. I think it's not we're pushing you guys out because we don't want your money. I think it's more so this is the new decree of business that we're doing, and you're either going to conform or you're out. Right. I think it's more so that.
That's what I was saying. I was saying that I don't think their intentions are to push us out per se, but their business practices is a byproduct of us being pushed out, because we don't appease the business practice that they have in place at this moment. Yeah.
So I'll just provide some examples of like why I think their new direction is anti-consumer. So I mentioned this before we started recording. At retailers, you can't find full game downloads for any PlayStation games. It's not a thing anymore. It used to be a thing. So if you go into a GameStop or a Best Buy or a Walmart or a Target and you're looking for a full game download for Spider-Man 2, you will not be able to find it. The only thing you'll be able to find are universal PlayStation currency cards at locked denominations. Usually like 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 100, 75, something like, in those denominations, in those amounts, right? And so what you could do, besides using your debit card, credit card, or a PayPal account or something like that, you would have to buy enough currency cards in order to cover the base game and whatever the tax is. That to me is anti-consumer, because you're forcing people to spend more money than they need to in order to consume a particular kind of game, right? Or a particular kind of content. Let's say it was movies that they wanted to download, or music or something like that. I don't know. Even though I think they took movies off the PlayStation Store, right? So that's not even a thing you could do anymore. So yeah, fuck that.
I haven't really explored.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I put in the disc on my PS5 and I play. I barely explored the.
Yeah, that's the last thing I do.
So anyway, there's that. You also can't buy PlayStation Plus cards anymore, at least at major retailers, unless they have like an old stack or whatever, but they don't produce them anymore. And the reason why is because, quite frankly, if we just call out the elephant in the room, they want you to always have money in your digital wallet so that you always have a reason to spend something. It's a way to like perpetuate spending habits. That's really what it is. Like, they'll never admit to it, but that's what it is. Come on. Why would you take that away in the first place? Like, Xbox and Nintendo hasn't taken that away. If you want a Nintendo online membership for a year, you can find the cards for that. If you want a Game Pass for 6 months or a month or 3 months or 12 months, you could find that in stores. Like, that's available to you. PlayStation, you can't. There's only these universal currency cards. Come on. That's one. Two, I've known people personally who would tell me, yeah, I don't have, I had a PlayStation account since PS3. My account recently got hacked, and I tried reaching out to Sony customer support. I can't get in contact with anybody over the phone, like verbally. I have to like speak to these machines, these like automated machines, and then I'm met with like these emails, and they basically tell me, "Oh, well, just create a new account." And so I've lost 10 plus years of downloads, of trophy information, of just history, and PlayStation's not doing anything to help me. So like they don't even have like a service line anymore to where you could speak to a person like, hey, this is the problem I'm having with my PlayStation account, and they can go fix it. Like you could if if you wanted to call your cell phone service provider and you needed to talk to somebody. Like I have T-Mobile, I'm able to speak to a T-Mobile rep and like speak to a real human that can like help me solve whatever my problem may be. But Sony eliminated that. You can't tell me Sony can't afford to have a customer service team set up to answer these kinds of issues, but they took it away because again, profitability. They just fuck it. People will either conform or they'll go away, right? And the guy who told me about that PlayStation account being hacked, he ended up just becoming a PC gamer. So PlayStation lost a customer there, a loyal customer, a guy who's been playing PlayStation since God knows when. So I don't know. Their recent decisions, their product line, just everything that they've been doing in the last, like, I'm gonna say, 4 years, have been very anti-consumer and have been more so about total, complete control over their marketplace. I mean, Sony's the one company that like was giving everybody a hard time about crossplay. Why? Because they want full control. So like, I don't know, the people who like bear Sony's flag and like are the true incarnation of what a Sony pony is. Like, I can't respect it, man, because there's just too many examples to point to why this company is like doing a lot of fucked up shit to their own consumer base. So I don't know.
I've never
I've never
heard that term.
That's the online terminology. There's Sony Pony, there's Xbots, and I forgot what
Nintendroid.
Nintendroid. That's it.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. That's funny. That's absolutely funny. But to your point, Kong, you could, in terms of the 4 years, you can even go even further back at the launch of like the PSP and Vitas, like actual handheld consoles. Sony has always had this pattern about trying to control things by making their own proprietary memory cards. And that has always been their downfall for the portable systems. Like the portable systems were really well done. I enjoyed them for the time being. But the biggest issue that they had was not only did they have proprietary memory cards, they were super expensive. They were hella expensive. Like an 8 GB card ran you for about maybe $150 to $200 at the time of when they were like really prominent. So, they always have been like moving forward with trying to control the narrative of how their stuff is sold and the devices that you can use in which to utilize their experience consoles and things like that. So they've been doing that for a while.
I agree, but the PlayStation Vita having proprietary memory cards and the PlayStation Portal in current day, I feel like those are two very different animals of control.
Well, they are. They absolutely are, but I'm just saying that it's the pattern has been there. Like it was a bit minimal back in the days, but now they're pushing the envelope of like, yeah, we want to control our own shit. That's it. Like we don't want we want to cut out the middleman. We don't want people buying cards from the store. You just be happy that we are giving you an option, because they know that a lot of people are apprehensive with having their credit or debit information on their consoles, given the fact that there's been history of hackers coming in and just taking all this personal information. So that's my only reason why they would leave those particular cards there. But also in the back of their heads, in the back of their business practices, we're just gonna leave a little bit left in the store for you because you want to be more inclined to purchase more. It's like having those gift cards.
As you're saying that, I'm just thinking of the Joker in and Dark Knight he's like schemers in their scheming little world, right? That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And also, just as a PSA for anybody listening, if you have any account, doesn't matter if it's PlayStation or Xbox or Google Play, whatever, it doesn't matter. Always have on two-factor authentication.
Yes.
Because
Yep.
there are too many hackers out there. There's too much bullshit. Secure your accounts. Have different passwords. Do your due diligence because you'll thank yourself later. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, definitely. Please do. And also to add to that, like to that point too, Sony didn't have that back in the PS3 era. So people were shit out of luck. Like whatever got hacked, and Sony was like, well, here's, bend over and take the shaft because that's all you're getting. So it's just bad, man.
We got a free download for Infamous 1.
That is true. During the big hack, it was if whatever, man. That's not the point. It's like what they did with that was equivalent to getting a collector's edition after 1 year of purchase, and then they give you a 10% gift card.
Nice. That
Like,
guy's a lucky guy.
Real lucky, right? Real lucky. He like he got the paddle of blessing. Like it's just, man.
Inside joke, because some people are like, what is he talking about? So Mr. Esoteric purchased was it Shredder's Revenge, Ninja Turtle game? Bought the collector's edition a year ago, paid for it a year ago, and now got it in the mail finally. And he was compensated for the wait time with a 10% off coupon on his future purchase.
That might not have a future. Like, yeah.
Hey,
so
joke's on you, pal. We win either way. You either buy something or you don't use the coupon.
Listen, if that company that will not be named, if that company decides to,
Oh, good, because I was gonna put them on blast. All right, we'll keep it.
Limited run.
I mean, if you want to, yeah. But if they decide to take a page out of Sony's book and like, oh, we want to control everything, they're not getting they're not getting anything from me because like I'm not gonna wait a year and a half again for something that I've purchased like way back when. And it's so funny because a couple of days before I got the email that it was being shipped, I was contemplating on whether or not I should call my card company and let them know that I want my money back. Like, just can't stop payment on this. I want my money back. They haven't produced. And then I shit you not, they actually sent the email like, "Oh, your item has been shipped." I was like, "Yeah," because y'all know people were thinking to, yeah.
All right. So we've talked about the glorious the fuck is this shit called? The PlayStation Portal.
Yeah.
Portal to fucking hardcores, I guess. So since this is kind of like a holiday, what we're looking forward to, years. It's getting along. Summer, as the recording of this video, summer's ending. So what are we looking forward to? Is there anything, a video game, a peripheral, maybe going back in time a little bit? Is there anything we're looking forward to? I mean, I'll start with me. It doesn't, as of the filming of this, it doesn't have a release date other than 2023. But
here we go.
I'm itching for my 40K Space Marine 2. Recently they got new gameplay footage. Some background spoiler. We're recording this before the holidays, so now the cat's out the bag. Gamescom kind of recently happened, and they showed more footage for that game. Didn't show a fucking release date, at least not that I looked up or was able to find. But 2023, I'm gonna say holiday season. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, I can get the collector's edition. Big 40K fan. That was one of the games. That was one of the reasons why I got a PlayStation 5, because that's one of the games that is not coming out on PlayStation 4. It's PC and next gen. So I was like, all right, well, I want to play some fucking Space Marine. My ignorant self wasn't a fan back then, so I didn't know the first one came out on PlayStation 3. I probably saw it on a GameStop shelf way back in the day, and I didn't buy it. Hindsight and all that, but yeah, that I'm gonna call it a holiday game because it's 2023 ends in the new year, so it's the time frame for it coming out is running short. So That's what I'm looking forward to. It looks good. I'm gonna love it. It's 40K, so that's good. A plus. That's the first. That's one I could think of on the top of my head. You guys got any peripherals, games, things you guys are looking out for?
Yeah, I got a few. I say that the last quarter of the year is looking very promising. We're getting a couple of fighting games. I'm more so interested in, which is funny because I'm more
Oh
interested.
yeah, Esoteric might be dropping some. Speaking of almost $200.
Oh, I did it. I did it.
Oh well,
I did it.
well, hey,
Listen,
the
I
Sir?
Sony Portal fanboys are gonna come after
oh
you.
hell no no. Listen. A statue is way more important than this Sony Portal. Okay, I said it. Yes, I did. Okay, it comes with a very reputable game. It looks amazing. The gameplay. I can actually play. I can use whatever peripherals I want. I mean, listen, to each his own, right? To each his own. But yeah, I did go with the purchase. I did tell you that, Gunner. I said if it was still available at the time of stream, then it was meant for me to get it. But for those of you who don't know, they're talking about Tekken 8, the collector's edition. They actually made an announcement. I saw it the night of stream. I believe it was Tuesday, and I decided to just purchase it after the stream or whatever. Now, the good thing is I pre-ordered it and I put it on credit. So what essentially happens is they check to see if you have the funds in your credit, and then they give it back. So from now until January, I can save up on it. $60 each month for each pay period, and I'll have the money to acquire it. It wasn't just a one-time purchase and I'm stuck in the deficit at this moment. So I just paid to solidified. I just held with funds to solidify my purchase, and then they're gonna extract the funds once they ship it out. But anyways, aside from that, that's more of like a early quarter 1 2024 because it comes out in January. For me, Spider-Man 2, I'm looking forward to. I know it's gonna be a pretty good game. I enjoyed the prequels, Miles Morales and the first Spider-Man. Uh, unpopular opinion, but I think Lords of the Fallen is looking really good. I'm looking forward to that
Hey
game.
man, might
And
be game of the year. Who knows? I couldn't finish that sentence now.
listen, compared to what we've seen prior, I think they really stepped it up. It looks really good. If it plays terrible, it's egg on my face, right? Because Kong did warn me. They already set the pattern, but this looks really good. They really look like they did a good job in
Nah,
fixing the.
that game looks like Lords of Shadow in name only. It
Lords
recently
of the
we
Fallen. Lords of Shadows
Lords of Shadow.
Castlevania. Jesus Christ.
Well, maybe I want. Hey, look at that. Maybe that's coming out.
Maybe.
We saw old footage of Lords of the Fallen where it had no character creator. You played as an angry Mohawk dude, and
He was
that
bald.
one, it was bald. Oh well, God,
Yeah, he was
God,
bald. Yeah, like
hey,
face tattoos. Damn.
angry dude, regardless.
He's on the
And
cover of the. He's on the cover of the game.
hey, I didn't play it. Kong told me. He told me what it was about. I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna go play Dark Souls 3 again. So later, but those look like it just shares the same name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Lords of the Fallen does have name recognition, just not the best. So
Well,
good,
Lords of the
bad
Fallen,
publicity.
from what I've been told, because at the conference that I went to a week ago, they had showcased like gameplay of it. Gameplay I've already seen though.
Yeah.
They said that the events of this game are 100 years removed from the events of the first game. So
Oh,
it's
so
still
it's in
within
the
the
same
same
world.
universe, but it's
Oh.
like way later or whatever. So like they're trying to stay as
They
far
needed to
away as
isolate
possible.
themselves.
Yeah, it was like,
They-
listen, we don't know that guy over there, okay?
listen,
Acknowledge me.
listen. I mean, we've seen gameplay, although that might be subject to change, which I hope not. I love the whole umbral aspect of it, where you're seeing different worlds, and based on which world you're traversing, will open
That's
up
a
new
cool feature.
paths.
That's a cool feature.
I'm loving the different classes and things like that. The aesthetic is amazing. Like the creatures look very grotesque, very phenomenal. Like it looks very Dark Souls esque, and us, we love the whole Dark Souls sphere. Um, so it looks very promising. If it doesn't play as it looks, because it's very seldom that trailers get me. I learned from the past, so nowadays it's very seldom that trailers get me. But this looks pretty genuine. But I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna give it a try, and if it sucks, then it's definitely egg on my face. But that's one of the other games. Um, uh, Mortal Kombat 1. Honestly, I'm more interested in the statue than the game.
Damn.
Um, not okay. So let me preface by saying that the game looks incredible. Mortal Kombat has always done a great job when it comes to their fighting games, right? My only apprehensiveness with this game is having certain characters that are playable and having another set of characters that are only assist. I'm not a fan of that. Like I think everybody should be playable, and I think that everybody should be accessible. Um and you should be able to finagle your team up and matchups accordingly. There shouldn't be just, oh, we have this. It kind of reminds me of old school Marvel vs. Capcom, where they only had a set group of characters that were assist, and then you had your team. Like back then it was cool, but now, given that Mortal Kombat has never done something like this, they always gave you bulk characters off jump, and for them to kind of like remove from that from what they do or what they're used to having assist characters, solely assist characters, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm gonna give it a shot though, because I do like Mortal Kombat, but I just don't like that. There's nothing worse than having a character that you really like, but they're only an assist. Like that's annoying. Um and yeah, I think that's about it so far. What say you, Kong? What are you looking forward to?
PlayStation Portal. I mean, no, I'm kidding. Obviously, no, fuck that piece of tech. We'll say
Mario Wonder is pretty. Looks.
I was
pretty
gonna
good
say
too.
I was gonna mention Mario Wonder. So Mario Wonder looks really fun. That's supposed to come out the same day as Spider-Man 2, so that's gonna be a busy day in stores.
Yep.
Luckily, it's Mario. That the Nintendo's in a world of their own, so any game could come out and
true, but there's gonna be a lot of overlap there.
Oh yeah,
I think a lot of people buying Spider-Man probably also have a Switch and might pick up Mario Wonder as well. So Mario Wonder is looking like a lot of fun. Mario RPG looks like fun.
Yes,
I've never played the original,
true.
and so I'm probably gonna pick this up and give that a spin.
Yeah.
Lies of P. While that's early September,
forgot about that. Yeah,
that game's looking pretty solid. Lords of the Fallen is interesting, but I'm not gonna buy it day one. I'm gonna stick to my guns here.
I'm the guinea pig. They're gonna watch
wait.
me stream it.
Esoteric is gonna stream it. I'll watch him and play the game, and I'll make a decision to pick it up. Maybe it'll be on sale for Black Friday or something like that, and so I'll be able to get it a little cheaper. Other than that, I mean, there's other stuff coming out. Like Spider-Man 2 looks cool, but I don't have a PS5, and I don't intend on buying a PS5 to play it. Assassin's Creed Mirage is supposed to like take things back to the original Assassin's Creed style gameplay, which I prefer, but I'm not gonna get that at launch. Not interested. The Avatar game looks alright, but I'm not too interested.
Avatar game? You talking about Last Airbender or
no,
like
Avatar,
the movie
Blue
Avatar?
People?
The Blue People.
Avatar, yeah.
Oh,
they have a new game coming out in December. So there's that. But the next game that my October game is probably going to be, besides Mario Wonder, is probably going to be Alone in the Dark remake. So I'm going to play the shit out of that game. It looks like it plays a lot like the RE2, RE4 kind of game.
Oh, I like
it's
that.
Like a third-person shooter horror game. So I'll be picking that up as well.
Oh, I thought you meant Ari, like in the Blind Forest.
No, RE is in Resident Evil. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, you said RE. Okay,
RE,
gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And there's a few indie games that I have lined up for September. Probably gonna pick up Vernal Edge. I just picked up Nuclear Blaze.
Vernal Edge is a really good game. Very good game.
There's some like indie stuff on Switch. My library is going to be consistent. Like my purchase history is going to be mostly indie games this holiday, and a few like AAA games like Alone in the Dark, Mario Wonder, and Lies of P. So that's pretty much all I'm looking forward to. I don't plan on getting any new systems or new headsets. I just got a Steam Deck, so I'm good with that as far as like new tech. If I do get a new machine, it'll be an old machine. So I've been thinking about picking up, or not think I plan to pick up a original Xbox, but I specifically want the Halo 2 green Xbox. So
you should have told me. They have one at my at the store by me that sells like retro games. I don't know if they still have it, but they do have one in nice condition, so I could look into that for you.
How much do you think they have it for?
I think last I checked, it was like $250 or something like that. It is a lot, but it's a collector's nice green system.
I really like how that console looks. There's also the blue one. So Canada got the blue. It's like a atomic blue Halo 2 console. So I kind of want that one
with the Arbiter. I think it was his colors or something.
It's the Arbiter's version. They got that in Canada when it first came out, and so I was like, that's pretty sick too. If I could get that hacked and like, you know, region free, maybe I'll get that one. That blue looks nice.
Kong about to get his passport to go get some Xbox.
Well, I think Canada I should be able to get it. I'll be able to get it. Canada wouldn't Canada share the same type of
should, because we're both North American, right? So
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I have to look into that and make sure. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been looking at for holiday. Nothing too crazy besides what I mentioned. So,
damn, you guys mentioned more than one. I just mentioned one game.
Listen, you've been waiting for 40K for like decades, man. You've been waiting for a good 40K game.
Yeah, I mean, I recently, joined the fandom. I'm a casual novel reader. I don't yet, but that game looks solid, man. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a system seller, but it was definitely a system motivator for me. And for the viewers, get ready, because I'll probably do a video on that, or I'll just like have these guys sit there and I'll just talk about the game for an hour. So yeah, look out for that. But I mean, as far as other stuff goes, this might kind of be a deviation from the holiday thing. But I mean, Kong kind of brought it up, so I'll bring it up too. I've been going back in time. Like, I've been heavily investing into 3DS specifically. I just finished managing to get all of the 3DS games that came out for the Shimigami line of games. So I have 4 for Apocalypse, Strange Journey, Devil Survivor 1 and 2, and Soul Hackers. So I have all of that. I was happy with that because, now that the 3DS store is kaput, these things are getting more expensive.
Yep.
So, I find myself going back in time. Really, I rebought, because I used to have it, Bravely Default not too long ago. Got that at a decent price, no too crazy of a markup. Kind of its normal price. I got it for like $42, so kind of roughly what it retailed for when it was brand new. So, yeah.
I mean, well, you guys going back is absolutely fair game, because even the market is kind of going back. Like, we got the Metal Gear trilogy, like 1, 2, and 3 that's supposed to be coming to next gen consoles, and we have a couple of other titles that are like, they were like back in the days, and they're resurfacing and being repackaged into current gen consoles. So that's all fair game. It's clearly they understand that there's a market for people who want these old games on current consoles. So that's all fair game, which I'm willing to get. I'm looking to get the Metal Gear trilogy. I'm a little.
Don't get it for the Switch. I don't know if you heard, but don't get it. No,
what happened with the Switch?
Apparently the Switch version plays worse than the versions on like PlayStation 3 and whatnot. It's going to be capped at 720p and like 30 FPS, while the PlayStation, which this is no excuse, because it's the PlayStation 5 and Xbox version, is at least going to be 1080p. So like the Switch is, I don't know, Konami handicapped the Switch version pretty badly. So, you know, I'm a mainline Switch gamer. I know everybody like, oh, this guy mainlines the Switch, what a loser. But you hear that a lot. A lot of people.
Sorry, that was so funny.
It's like he's like, oh, he's playing the system with a graphics card from 2015. It's like, well, it is rivaling
games.
It is rivaling like the PlayStation for highest selling console. So, tomato, I don't, whatever. I'm not here to debate you, but you know, I mean, look at the fucking statistics are right there. Nintendo's not paying me, but it's right there. But yeah, I would suggest just get like the PlayStation 5 version if you want to have a better overall looking experience. I know we're all about like form over, or function over form, but you know, we've all played the Metal Gear series here, so
I'm good. I mean, I thought about getting it. I have the Legacy collection on PS3, so I have access to 2, 3, and Peace Walker. And for the first one, I'm pretty sure I have the PS2 copy of the first Metal Gear game.
Yeah, that's the one I have. Yeah,
I'm good. I'd rather play the original. They're also censoring parts of like the dialogue for the original anyway, so it's like,
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so I think I'm good.
Because I could have sworn that one of our friends said that they were leaving it untouched. They weren't going to change anything, but
I mean, I haven't looked at it too hard because it's just like I've played Metal Gear a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like really on the back burner. It's not a thing I was gonna pick up day one. Not by any stretch. But
I wanted to acquire the Switch one simply because I know that it's going to be a very high marketed game in the future. I just have a feeling. So that would be the reason.
I mean, you could, I mean, you can buy it, yeah.
But I'll get they're not sold at base value, like base market price. So I could probably squeeze in one for the PS5 or whatever, and then have the other one for the Switch sealed.
Honestly,
it's the same
the money I would spend on the Metal Gear Collection version 1 or Volume 1, I'd rather take that and invest it into a copy of Twin Snakes for GameCube. Quite frankly, I think that's a better investment for me.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's yeah, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But yeah, so more than likely my holiday shopping is going to be going back in time. There's some 3DS games that foolish younger me traded into GameStop for that sweet GameStop credit to buy a fucking Call of Duty game or something probably. And I'm trying to get them back, and they're like, "Ha, you waited 20 years too late." So, and I know, I can get a Steam Deck like Kong did, and I could just emulate the entire 3DS library in a day if I felt like it. But I'm old, I'm stubborn, I'm a purist to a certain degree, so I want to play the 3DS game on the 3DS cartridge in a 3DS. So that's like added difficulty that I'm putting on myself. But hey, look, searching these games out is half the fun, in my opinion. So I enjoy the search. Really.
It's also much more appreciative, right? Because you did all this groundwork, you did all this research to acquire the game. Pertaining to your point about it being a part of the fun. Like I remember when we were, we were like rare hunters looking for old games at that time, checking every GameStop, every store possible, going all the way from the top of New York to the bottom, just from Brooklyn to the Bronx, just trying to find different games. It was a fun time.
Going in neighborhoods I wouldn't normally go because I have no business. There's nothing there for me to find this like GameStop. Going to the infamous GameStop in what is it? Not Grand Central that closes at like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
That was the one in Rockefeller Center.
Rockefeller, right? There you go. Yeah.
Or just like you and one of us are sharing the same passion for a particular game, and then you both see it on the shelf. You just kind of like look at each other and see who gets it first. That's what happened with Wolf and myself, where I forgot what game it was, but I ended up getting it before he did. He was just sulking the entire ride, coming back home or whatnot. So
I mean,
good times.
That happened with me and Zeta for those that know .hack infection for the .hack line of games.
Quarantine, yeah, that shit is so hard to
Quarantine.
find.
Sorry, yeah, Quarantine. There was a store in Bronx that was like a hidden gem store that had a bunch of games that like we found, and they had the entire collection of .hack from infection to quarantine, and I needed quarantine. It was the last one I needed, and I told I told Zeta about it, and he got it. And in my head, I don't know why. In my head, I was like, I'll find another one. I could find never found another one. That shit is fucking a couple $100, and now my collection ends at 4. It ends at 3. It ends in 3 games in. But
yeah,
hey,
same.
what you gonna do?
Yeah, I have those, and I have the GU series. I have the full GU. I'm missing 4. I'm missing Quarantine.
Yeah, I like GU got a port on the Switch, so I have the GU collection on the Switch now. But they won't do it with the fucking original .hack games. But maybe Bandai Namco gets their shit together at some point. We'll see.
Yeah, and hopefully holiday season. Oh, another game. Disgaea 7 I'm looking for. I hope they drop Disgaea 2 and 3 also on the Switch, because those are the only 2 I'm missing. I have 1, 4, 5, 6. 7 is coming out, definitely picking that up, and I want 2 and 3 to complete the Switch collection. So
yeah, I forgot about Disgaea 7. Yeah, 6 was fun. I enjoyed my time with 6. There's like a lot of I mean, it's usually how it is, right? Near the end of the quarter, new year, they kind of holiday season, they just jam it full of games. But at least for me personally, this is like the one year where there's actually stuff I'm interested in. Another one that just got a release date. No, sorry, that's incorrect. That doesn't count. But Persona 3 remake got a release date, but that's in February, so that's after the holidays, so that doesn't count really. But I am looking forward to that. So, it is a remake, so it's not a remake, but it's like a enhanced. I guess it's a remake because the art, they changed the way the art is. But that's me, being the port beggar and the remake beggar again. But hey, I mean, it's good. It's a good game, so my simp ass will buy it. That's for sure. Much like the people who will buy the Portal simps. So
yeah, and I guess
full circle.
Yeah, it all comes full circle, and I guess to like summarize that, guys, again, just be mindful of your purchase, and just know what you're getting yourselves into. If it's something that you want, that again, that's your prerogative. If you have disposable income, definitely purchase it. If you find it as a suitable device for your leisurely needs, then that's perfectly fine. However, don't rush to get something that's redundant. Try to utilize any current items you have to kind of simulate that same experience, because essentially that's you're paying for a more, I guess, convenient device that does the same thing pertaining to gathering around devices for that same type of experience. So just be mindful of that. If you got the money, get it. If you don't, and you're kind of frugal, if you're looking to kind of utilize your money elsewhere for something new, I don't think this would be the purchase for you.
Yep. Oh, and one more game. It just came to my head, and then that'll be it for me. Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out on the PlayStation 5.
I thought it was already out.
It's out on PC, but it's dropping on PlayStation 5 in September. I'm hearing a lot of good things about that. I'm hearing some crazy shit about that. If you know about bear sex, then you know. But it looks like a good RPG. It's another single player game. I'm a huge advocate for the single player life, so I'm definitely probably gonna pick that up when it drops on PS5, because that's what I have. I don't have the PC that can play it, so It's another one. September, Baldur's Gate 3. I'll be buying it.
Nice.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you for those listening. Appreciate you if you made it this far. Leave a like in the video if you enjoyed the conversation. Dislike if you didn't. Comment down below. Let us know what you think about the PlayStation Portable. Let us know what you are looking forward to in the holiday of 2023. If it's anything different or the same as far as things we mentioned. Subscribe for more content. We're going to be producing episodes like this every Wednesday. So podcasts like episodes, hour-long conversations about a particular topic or opinion pieces every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So if you subscribe and the notification bell is on, you'll be notified once those goes live. Once those go live. I can speak. I promise. I promise. English is my first language. Anyway, the article that we're referring to with the PlayStation Portal breakdown will be in the description down below, so you can click on that and read for yourself and see if it's something you want to purchase this holiday. Our social medias are also down there as well, so we have a Facebook, a Twitter, Instagram, and a TikTok, so the links will be in the description as well as the Discord that we run. We're looking to build a community, so we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to have you part of that community. Mr.Esoteric, he streams on the main channel. He's on Twitch every, 2 times a week, usually Mondays and Fridays, right? Sometimes Wednesdays as well. He streams a variety of games. He does party games, indie games, retro games, AAA games, you name it, he does it. Give him a follow, show him some support. And yeah, with that being said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Till next time.
Take care.